Now, as we wrap up this show, let's run straight to the world of basketball and talk about the NBA. Yes, it's all about the NBA playoffs and the finals between the Eastern and the Western Conference champions. That is the Boston Celtics taking on the Dallas Mavericks. It was all about Kristaps Porzingis, who dazzled in his return from injury, and the Boston Celtics dominated. They dominated on both ends of the floor to defeat the Dallas Mavericks 107 to 89 points in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on Thursday. Now for Porzingis, he missed 10 games after straining his right calf in the first round of the playoffs. He made an immediate impact on his return as the Celtics built a 29 points lead in the first half, then thwarted the Mavericks' third quarter surge to gain the upper hand in the best-of-7 championship series in front of a wild home crowd. Porzingis finished with 20 points, and Jayson Tatum scored 16 points with 11 rebounds and 5 assists. Also, we've got basketball commentator Rotimi Akindele joining us this morning to look at what happened in Game 1 and also what is likely going to happen in Game 2, because a lot of people are thinking it is going to be a blowout in the series for the Boston Celtics. Glad to have you with us, Rotimi.
Good to be on the show. Still trying to pick up or look away from the draw attention, like you mentioned. But this series is not going to end in a draw. That much I can tell you. I think the prediction before now is that Boston Celtics looks like the team that will go on to win this to win the NBA Finals, and it has been happening from the regular season. They have formed from the regular season. They're formed from 2 seasons ago when they played in the same finals in which they lost. Everyone has said Joe Mazzulla and the guys talking about the players have all it takes to go on and win the ring this season, and it's looking like that. Dallas Mavericks were not in that Game 1. You can, even though they went ahead. I mean, they were forced to 15 in terms of points garnered on the night, but it didn't happen. Like you mentioned while you were reading the news, Porzingis' return was key, for Celtics, and it showed on the night. Played about 22 minutes, scored 20 points, and it was just brilliant to see the likes of Porzingis adding to White. You got Tatum, you've got Brown. I mean, it's all looking like it's a Celtics final to lose, even though it was just in Game 1. I'm not saying it's going to be a sweep, but I feel whatever happens to Doka, I think Celtics will be crowned champions this season. If it's going to end in Game 5, Game 6, whatever happens, I think with the quality they have and the form they've been this season, I think it's all Celtics final to lose.
Now, looking at Dallas Mavericks, they also possess a lot of superstars, right? Especially Luka Doncic, who scored about 30 points for the Mavs.
Yeah.
But it was not even enough, considering the fact that Porzingis scored 20 points, Doncic scored 30, but it was not even enough to see them win that game.
It can be. I mean, it's not like Mavericks don't have the kind of player. Like you said, Doncic was in there. You've got Irving as well. These are players that on a good day can go on to win you games. But the support cast for Celtics, what they have starting 5, what they have on the bench, have always been the brilliance for Celtics, and that's what we've seen. Regular season into the playoffs, the conference finals, and now that's what we're seeing in the finals itself. So I still think that Dallas, yes, they've got good hands. Their shot on the night was about 41% from the field and 25.9% from 3-pointers. If they had a strong support cast, maybe the like of Kyrie Irving had stepped up, we could have seen a closer margin. He only registered 12 points. And the difference between Celtics and Mavericks is just that the support cast, if you have a standout player, the support cast have to come up. And that's what you see with the Celtics. You got Jayson Tatum, you've got Jaylen Brown, you've got Porzingis, there's also White. These are support casts that can help you go on to win games effectively. But the main support cast that Mavericks didn't get on the night, despite Doncic's 30 points was the fact that Kyrie Irving was not in the game. 12 points, missed 13 of 19 shots. I don't know where his mind was during that game. Maybe it was pressure, maybe because they were playing on an away court and all that. But hopefully they can pick themselves up. But I must also tell you that This is probably their lowest scoring output postseason, talking about Mavericks. So they have to fix a lot of things going into game 2. And basically, just to round it up, it's just that your support cast have to step up. It didn't work for Mavericks, it worked for the Celtics.
Now, you talk about support cast. I would like to go back to the playoffs before. Now, even the regular season, would you say this was what affected the likes of the Golden State Warriors and also the Milwaukee Bucks? Injuries on Giannis Antetokounmpo, injuries on Steph Curry, and a couple of mismanagement of the team. Would you say this was also what led to their downfall during the regular season?
Yeah, it contributed a whole lot. I mean, you can't have injuries to key players. Key players, it's basketball. So basketball, they're just, yes, you can have one standout player, but that's why you have a starting 5. Those starting 5 must be able to help with your offense, with your defense, must be able to score points as well. That's why basketball is totally different from maybe football or some other sports that you just have to feed a striker and then he finishes off and all that. So the likes of Golden State Warriors, if Steph Curry was not in the party, you can hardly point at any other player. Maybe even for Miami Heat, if it was not Bam Adebayo, it was Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Outside the team, yeah, there were some that showed some brilliance during the season and all that. But for you to go all the way, for you to go the distance, you have to have that unit or that team all in good shape. But we didn't get that with some of these teams you've mentioned. Golden State Warriors had loads of injuries. There was a time Curry was out. He came back. Same with Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis was out. He came back. While he came back, one or two players also missed out. You can say same as well for Miami Heat. You can say same for, some of these teams, even the defending champions. A lot of things that Denver Nuggets, it didn't just work. So it's very key, really, that your support cast, especially for a coach, knows what they're doing. Anytime you look to the bench, you can be able to say, okay, you come up and save the day. If you just keep your attention or keep your manpower or all your arsenal on one or two players and the support cast fail to perform, then you get something like this. So to answer your question correctly, it affected some of these other bigger teams, and the team it seems to be working for have the advantage in the NBA Finals now.
All right, now taking a look at Game 2, it goes down at the TD Garden. Any chance for the Mavs?
I don't think so. So
wow,
they've allowed Celtics bullied them into winning that first game, 107-89. It's a blowout in basketball, and the fact that they've got to do a whole lot to pick themselves up. But if you discover that you are facing the same team that are just blown you out some days earlier, I think the only place where the tide can turn is when they go back to Dallas. Yeah. But for now, the TD Garden, I think Celtics will take a 2-0 lead. I think the likes of Porzingis, Tatum, Brown, White will still step up big time. Like I said, they are the favorites. They've been odds-on favorites all season. So that tag has created some form of solid mentality for the team, solid mentality for Joe Mazzulla. It's unfortunate that Udoka is not part of this one, and you know the Udoka I'm referring to.
Yeah.
But it all started, some years ago. So that mentality is that we can do it. We lost in the last finals we were in, which is about 2 seasons ago. This time around, we can't lose this. So it's the mindset is key for Celtics, and I feel Celtics will take that game too. If there's going to be a glitch or a sort of bump to their run in the finals, I think we'll have to wait till we get to Dallas and not what will happen at TD Garden.
All right, we look forward to that one. It happens on Monday, early hours of Monday, and the Celtics fans are also looking forward to it, hoping that or believing that the team will get to win the series. That's talking about Game 2. Well, thank you very much, Rotimi Akindele, for your time, and we will surely have you once again.